Hello and welcome to Friday's programme. I'm Ellie Louise Rinch.
And I'm John T. Messer. Coming up tonight between now and 6:30. Good evening. A woman from South Gloucestershire says she has been overwhelmed by the support that she's received after sharing a video of her daughter being attacked by a group of bullies.
Kim Nichols from Lyde Green came across the video of her daughter being assaulted on social media, but now hopes it will raise awareness of the issue. Max Walsh has been to meet Kim and her daughter Chloe. To some more news from across the West Country now, and rail passengers travelling between Yeovil and Devon had to go by bus today.
Vehicles that were removed from Salisbury following the nerve agent attack have been buried at a landfill site.
Next tonight, a community in South Somerset has decided to tackle antisocial behaviour by employing its own security patrol.
And you're watching ITV News here in the West Country this Friday evening. Thanks for joining us. Still ahead, before 6:30, we will be...
And the ITV News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. Here's Ranveer Singh with the details. But first, now, earlier in the programme, we reported on how bullies were using social media to share attacks of their victims. But of course, for many of us, going online is a harmless, albeit addictive, part of our lives.
But could you go without it for a month? Well, we're being urged to make next month Scroll-Free September, which public health experts say could help improve body confidence, real-world relationships and our mental health as well.
And if a month sounds like a long time, how about a week? ITV has challenged one family to stop for 7 days, and they've been speaking to our reporter, Matt Price.
And we were just talking, I like the idea of that. I'm not sure I could give it up for a month. Could you?
I like to think that I could give it up, but I suspect I would find it a lot harder than I imagine. It's just a habit now, isn't it?
Just got to cut down, I think, a little bit, haven't we? Now let's move on, because ITV's latest drama hits our screens this weekend. It is the adaptation of the classic novel Vanity Fair, and it features a star-studded cast, including Dorset's finest Martin Clunes.
Kevin Ashford has been given behind-the-scenes access to get a flavour of how it was made.
Culling, but I think necessary culls, because William Makepeace-Thackeray, he goes on tangents a lot and then tells you about the political climate of the day, and then 100 pages later you're like, where are the characters?
And this year's Downs Festival, which begins tomorrow, is joining forces with the big issue to provide more opportunities for vulnerable people.
And if you're heading to that, we will have the full forecast for you in a few minutes' time. Before we do, though, the new rugby season starts tonight with Bristol and Bath kicking it all off at Ashton Gate.
Yes, it marks Bristol's return to the top tier, with both sides hoping for success. We can cross live now to Carrie Davies, who's inside the ground for us. And Carrie, we can see those crowds building up this evening. Quite some crowds there, Carrie. It's going to be a great atmosphere.
It's going to be.
Carrie Davies live at Ashton Gate, thank you.
Wish I was there. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. Of course, if rugby's not your thing, there is a full programme of football fixtures taking. Have your say on the weekend's sports action. It can be any sports, rugby or football, or any sports that we haven't talked about on the programme this evening. Then do get in touch. Carrie'd love to hear from you. Email westcountryfans@itv.com.
Now it's time for our weather forecast for the region, and we can cross to Charlie Powell, who's in Somerset tonight. But before he brings us the weather, he's got some monster trucks to tell us about. Is that right, Charlie?
OK, Charlie, thanks very much indeed, and well done with the sound of those monster trucks in the background. Now, before we leave you, let's remind you of the main headlines here in the West Country this evening. And a mother...
Well, it's goodbye from the two of us. I will be back with the late news for you at 10:30.
The ITV News continues with Ranveer Singh after us, but we will leave you tonight with the crowds outside Ashton Gate this evening.